shall endure. Not a problem.
Your commands tire me!
I do not tolerate cowardice. None can escape me.
To the briny deep!
Life is too short for fear.
Do not try my patience.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the second week of BEC casting. And today we've got Merthyr Mountains against AGSB Esports. Obviously I didn't have my mic on during that champ select, but now we get to see what these picks are for these two teams. And so, if we first look over to the side we're more familiar with, AGSB Esports, the one that really does not come as a surprise to anyone is the Rakan for NHX. That's something that we see often. It's something that really is a signature pick for NHX. Looking at his counterpart in the bot lane, seeing Jinx on Vilfire is also not surprising. He likes to play these hyper carry ADCs such as Xayah and Kai'Sa, so Jinx really doesn't come as a surprise there, and that synergy with Rakan, as Jinx often has with a lot of supports, will certainly help them in that bot lane to perhaps win against this Ashe Xayah. An Olaf in the jungle for Lemon Curd, as we always say about Lemon Curd. It's about him being able to run down his opponents, about trying to apply pressure, and with Olaf he can certainly do that, or he can certainly try to do that against the Xin Zhao. Ornn in the top lane isn't such a strong pick for Ewan, and it's something that's actually quite uncharacteristic of Ewan, who we've seen play so many strong fighting top laners such as Kled, and so it's quite a change really in the top lane seeing an Ornn there, and that will be against the Garen, who's actually quite a strong fighter, and we can expect to be able to get out some damage against this Ornn. And then finally this Syndra is also a very signature pick for the mid laner on AGSB, and it's something which will actually be quite interesting to watch perhaps against the Zoe in this mid lane, this Zoe Syndra matchup. As for the other side, well, there's Xin Zhao in the jungle. We've already touched on that against the Olaf. The Ashe and Xayah, we can actually imagine the Xayah to have to do a lot of that heavy lifting in that lane compared to the Ashe, who will really just be in the form of utility and perhaps a bit of poke with that volley on her W. But Ashe never does really that much damage, so it'll be Xayah that we can imagine to be doing most of the damage in that lane. As for the other champs, we'll have to wait and see. Just hover over some of these masteries here so we can see what the two teams are facing up against. So Mastery 7 on Jinx for Vilfire, something that we would expect. Of course we know that NHX is proficient on the Rakan. Now we're into game, the players coming in. I'll just fix up some of these settings as we get into game and see what's going to happen. AGSB Esports versus Merthyr Mountains today on this second week of BEC.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So to start off with, we see AGSB, as always, doing their 5-point start, preventing any invades from the other side. And it looks like Merthyr Mountains aren't really trying to do any invades of their own. They're happy just doing this red side leash for the Xin Zhao, and then having a standard start as we would expect.
No place is safe while I'm free.
So just a red side start for Merthyr, and a blue side start for Lemon Curd on that Olaf. You can expect to probably see some early ganks as always from Lemon Curd on this Olaf. Potentially top laning around next to this Garen. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Garen going a bit kind of overexcited against the Ornn, trying to get an early kill, especially he's took that Ignite. It certainly wouldn't be out of the question to see it, and it would be a perfect opportunity then for Lemon Curd to come in and get a kind of counter engage onto that Garen. And in the bot lane, we're already seeing what I was talking about, Zyra being quite aggressive, and Ashe just playing in the back line, just farming up really. And we're seeing Billfire take a bit of damage here from the Zyra. The problem for this Ashe Zyra lane is as soon as Rakan starts engaging, there's very little that an Ashe Zyra can do, and they might just both die in situations like that with a good Rakan engage. Still just a bit of fighting here in this top lane with Ewan against Garen. Now, because Ewan's used to some of these more aggressive top laners, we might see him being more aggressive with this Ornn pick. He was traditionally not such an aggressive pick. But now we see Olaf coming up in the top lane around level 3. As we would expect, the Garen was pushed up. He does get caught out here, and that's first blood. That's exactly what we thought was going to happen there. That Garen would perhaps be pushed up a bit too much, and after that clear, Olaf would walk top and would take that first blood. And so there is some early gold onto the board for AGSB at that 4th minute into the game. And they are beginning as they want to go on here. With Xin Zhao forced to defend this top lane turret against the Ornn. Still a lot of poke going down onto Billfire there in the bottom lane from both the Ashe and Zyra. Apart from that gank top lane, we're still not seeing much fighting going on in this game in this 5th minute. We might expect to see more things top lane. Although at the moment my eyes are really drawn to this bottom lane because we keep seeing chip damage being taken onto this Jinx. And I'm wondering at what point NHX on the Rakan wants to engage with that Grand Entrance. Perhaps when he gets level 6, although it looks like he's already engaging now. The root comes down from Villfire's Chompers, and now Ash is in a bit of trouble. The exhaust comes down, and that is Lemon Curd with the kill. Now, the engage from Garen, but he's not in a good position. Ornn is already chasing him down, and Garen just a bit of health left. He might go down here. Flash and an auto from Ornn to secure the kill, and now that's a third kill for AGSB. Now it's 6 minutes into the game. Now that was a really nice gank there from Lemon Curd in the bot lane. For the top lane, that was just Garen being over eager again. But Lemon Curd now very low health against this dragon. If Xin Zhao finds him, then he could be in trouble, but now it's Xin Zhao in trouble as he now faces 3 members of AGSB, and he's just going to get taken down, and that's some early gold onto Villfire here. Now 1-0-1, and this is exactly what Villfire needs to be able to start popping off on this Jinx. Garen's still engaging onto this Ornn, but he's level 5, the Ornn is level 7. That's not exactly a good idea, and he's still got the minion wave there doing damage to him as well. It's a shame to have not seen anything going on in this middle lane yet, with that Syndra against the Zoe. Perhaps we'll have to start waiting until they roam. But Garen taking a lot of damage from this Ornn, and as I said, it's an uncharacteristic pick for Ewan in the top lane, and yet he is doing so well on it. He's still playing aggressive, as he often does, on more of the aggressive champions like the Kled. But now he's doing it on a characteristically tanky crowd control based champion, and he's still winning lane quite heavily, really. 2 kills up and also a significant CS advantage so early on in the game. In fact, there's significant CS advantages across the board for AGSB onto Merthyr, as we do often see in these games. Zyra now taking a bit of poke damage from these zaps from Jinx, and now Syndra's kind of in a tough position, but she's just going to walk down, and that's going to be Zyra getting caught up in the grand entrance from Rakan, and that's going to be a quick and easy kill. Second kill for Villfire. That was really just a case of Zyra walking up to close off Syndra, but actually Zyra was the one in the wrong position there. Syndra gets out quite safely, in fact, and that is another life lost for Merthyr Mountains. This Garen's still taking a lot of damage from the Ornn. He's not respecting the Ornn perhaps as much as he should be. He's not going to back here. He has that Garen passive that can help him. And he's going to continue in the lane, and that's just going to mean his downfall as the Rift Herald now spawns. The Ignite's ticking on the Ornn, but it's not going to lead to his death. The Herald jumps onto the tower, and that's going to be the first turret taken in the top lane at 9 minutes. They're now pushing further down, and if Xin Zhao and Zoe can't do something about this Herald, this could be a second turret taken, or at least a second turret heavily damaged by the Rift Herald here. And now Zyra in a tough position, just escapes from the Rakan knock-up there. Still no plates taken in the bottom lane. But certainly you can still see Villfire and NHX trying to do what they can to get these enemy bot laners to get Merthyr Mountains off of their turret and to ensure themselves some gold. All they need is one good Rakan engage. Now, small gank from Xin Zhao is not going to bear any fruit. All summon is still up for AGSB. And now 1v1 Xin Zhao against Olaf in this jungle river, and unfortunately for Xin Zhao, it's going to be uncontested there. That is an easy 1v1 win there for Olaf just by auto-attacking. Olaf now, perhaps Zyra didn't realise just how strong this champion is, and this could be another kill as the blast cone just saves Ashe here. Ashe on such low health, just running away, and suddenly Olaf is really strong. Garen desperately still trying to fight in the top lane against this Ornn again. He's 2 levels down, and this probably isn't going to end well for him. Zoe now coming to help, and they 2v1 this Ornn. The paddle star already misses from the Zoe, so that gives some opportunity for the Ornn to get out. And Garen has also now used his ultimate, so he's missing a key tool there. So there's a good chance that Garen can go down here to the Ornn. Ornn gets the first kill there. Zoe might just want to get out of there. She can't 1v1 him with Garen now dead. Drowsy hitting on. I don't think Ornn's going to be hit by the paddle star from that, but this is going to be all the plates gone from this middle lane tower, with 3 members of AGSB sieging this. 10 kills already on them, and this is before even plates are over. They're taking significant advantages around the map. The grand entrance carrying Zyra upwards, and then leading to a kill for the Olaf, and this is now turning AGSB Esports in this game into an unstoppable machine. They're now taking the last outer turret here. Vilfire getting his own fair share of team gold for himself here. And now at 2-0-1, over 100 CS and some significant objective gold by taking that turret. We can certainly see Vilfire being really strong suddenly against these opponents of Merthyr Mountains that just don't have the gold or the resources to compete. Now this is going to be the first of the tier 2 turrets that AGSB are looking at taking, and they've taken that one. Now this is 2 players. We've seen this before, I feel like, but now there might be a third one coming to join as Xin Zhao comes, and I think this won't be easy for Ornn anymore. Ornn's not going to get any kills here, and that's a huge shutdown onto the Garen as well. Bonus bounty 600 gold onto the Ornn, and that is the first kill for Merthyr Mountains. It's really Ornn there biting off a bit more than he can chew. He goes for that turret, and then instead of running away straight away, he stays a bit. Suddenly he sees 2 players and thinks he can 1v2 them like he did before against the Zoe and Garen, but this time actually there's a third player, and this time the Garen does take him down. Now Xin Zhao trying to fight against this Olaf, and this is just not the best idea for him, as he's going to get taken down. This is potentially a Rift Herald now being taken for AGSB, the second one of the game for them. And we're only 15 minutes in. Zyra unable to catch Vilfire with the root, but now Vilfire might be biting off too much. Here, there's now 4 members of Merthyr here against him, and he's simply going to go down against Garen here. Another huge bounty. A 350 gold bounty onto Garen. Now Garen should have some good gold here to start trying to do some damage with that champion. Second Rift Herald being summoned here. Xin Zhao taken down. Inhibitor turret taken down. The rest of the members of Merthyr Mountains scrambling to stop them taking this inhibitor, but they're going to be unable to stop it. Zoe using ult, but is going to come back into a team that will kill her. And also Olaf with the ultimate will easily take down 2 members, but not without dying himself, which perhaps wasn't part of the plan, and suddenly the quickness being used by the Rakan to stop himself from dying. The Syndra just trying to get what advantages she can, but perhaps AGSB are overstaying. The Xin Zhao looking to get some kills. A double kill from Syndra there, preventing the Xin Zhao from actually stopping their push, and now suddenly it looks really bad for Merthyr Mountains, as we have 3 members of AGSB Esports who have seemed to have become permanent additions to Merthyr Mountains' own base. Vilfire now also coming to join the party, coming to take down this mid lane inhibitor tower and inhibitor. Garen seeing what he can do, Zyro as well, but the Ornn ultimate comes out, and this is going to be Merthyr Mountains scrambling for their lives, and they're going to be trying to take away some of these super minions and some of these waves that AGSB are getting to knock inside their base, and it's only going to get more difficult as AGSB take more towers from Merthyr Mountains. We can see them taking this bottom lane tower here. I wouldn't be surprised to see AGSB then look for a Mountain Drake, unless they just want to keep pushing against the inhibitor tower and just take all 3 inhibitors, because if they take all 3 inhibitors, then it is really impossible then for Merthyr Mountains to do anything. Already 1 member of Merthyr Mountains taken down, a second shortly follows. Garen just about escapes the grand entrance, but he does not escape the throwing axe from the Olaf. Olaf still running at them, looking at these Nexus towers. And then first Nexus tower goes down. Vilfire now also focusing onto this Nexus tower. It's going to go extremely quickly, and now they're just looking at that Nexus, seeing what they can do against the enemies in the fountain. But this is going to be an 18-minute win against Merthyr Mountains and AGSB here in this dominant game, with only 3 kills for Merthyr Mountains against the 21 for AGSB. So that's the end of that game. A convincing win for AGSB against Merthyr Mountains. Overall, some great gameplay we were seeing, and only a few times when they perhaps overstepped and led to some shutdowns, some pretty big shutdowns really for Merthyr Mountains, but that was more so the AGSB players being out of position, being far too cocky perhaps, or arrogant inside the territory of Merthyr Mountains, and less so Merthyr Mountains outplaying AGSB. So overall, some convincing gameplay there in a convincing win against Merthyr Mountains, as AGSB continue to dominate in this group in this season of BEC. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week.